This week I've been driving one of Volkswagen's flagship SUVs. This is the 2023 Volkswagen Tiguan R-Line, and in this video I'm going to tell you everything you need to know in case you're in the market for one of these. Let's get right into it. So getting right to it with some of the specs, this is, like I said, the R-Line Black Edition. So you get a lot of blacked out elements, no chrome on here, and also you'll see that the rims are black as well, and you get some R badging on the side, which is very nice. It also comes with some great standard safety features such as rear cross traffic alert, blind spot detection, adaptive cruise control, and some nice parking sensors. It does not have a 360-degree camera, but the sensors are enough in this case. So this year, under the hood for the Volkswagen Tiguan, we have a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine that produces 184 horsepower, 221 pound-feet of torque, and you also get an 8-speed automatic transmission with it. So with all that great stuff out of the way, let's take a look at the exterior, then we're gonna hop in the interior, and then of course we'll take it for a test drive. So of course, starting off with the front end for the Tiguan R-Line, we get a nice R badge that you would have seen on the Golf R, but we don't get the performance, so that's a little bit sucky, but you know what, we'll take it for what it is because it is very aggressive looking, very sporty looking. Like I said, not a lot of chrome. We do have a little bit of chrome on the front here, but that's pretty much it. It's all blacked out here. A bunch of fake vents though, like maybe down here the diffuser in the front is a little usable, but that's about it. You also have your nice daytime running LEDs there with the main fog lamp. Very nice, adds to the overall look, so I like it. We also have up front here the parking sensors. Like I said, there's no front facing camera, so don't expect to see that here, but the sensors do a good job. Also, we have the nice redesigned Volkswagen logo that we all love. I'm surprised that they didn't do that light bar that we're used to seeing. We saw it on the R, we saw it on the Jetta as well. This one doesn't have it. I would have liked to see it. It's unfortunate they didn't put it, but still looks all right. Moving around back now for the Volkswagen Tiguan, as you can see, Tiguan logo right there, Volkswagen logo right there. The camera doesn't pop out, the camera's just under here. Then we have some nice tail lights. I've always liked the way Volkswagen does their tail lights. Very nice, very sporty. I love that. So we also have our little wiper here. I prefer it to be on top, but we do have a nice brake light up there, so no problems. And then the sucky part. Fake exhaust. Like this is like, they made no attempt almost to even hide that it's a fake exhaust. Like that is fake as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. They didn't even put chrome around it. I saw there's a upper line of the Tiguan and they actually put chrome. I mean, at least they could have done that, but no, this is completely fake. And the sound isn't that great either. So there you go. You're not getting a real exhaust. Just keep that in mind. Then we also have over here, we have a 4Motion badge because of course this is a all-wheel drive version of the Tiguan, which is great. So now let's open the trunk space and let's see how much trunk space you got. It is actually one of the most spacious ones when it comes to its competition. It's got a lot of clearance vertically and horizontally if you put those seats down. I got so much room here. No, it doesn't have that air suspension thing where it's gonna lower down for me or anything like that, but I really don't mind that. I got nice grocery hooks here on the side. I have this little thing that I could pull out and then have a little bit of privacy. When your trunk is closed, you don't want people to see your stuff. That's great. It's also removable, so I like that too. Then we have a little bit of floor space underneath here. It's not too much. You do have the spare tire under there, but you can maybe fit some things there if you want. And we have little side pockets here. With these seats down, it's a whole bunch of space. You could use it as an SUV should be used, and it really, really does hold up to its competition. The only thing that sucks in this price point is that we have nothing to close it with and nothing to open automatically with. You're poor and you're stuck doing it manual labor. It sucks in this price point, but for the space, I'll give it a pass. Moving on now to the side of the Tiguan. This is pretty much as simple as it gets. There's nothing crazy here besides this R-Line badge. It doesn't light up at night. I was hoping it would, but unfortunately it does not. This is another little bit of chrome here, but the rest is all blacked out. I like that there's no chrome on the windowsill there, not even chrome on the door. The one thing that does suck though is there is a button to lock and unlock, but there is no button in the rear. So if this car is locked, you have to unlock here first. I wish they would just have all 4 doors. That should be standard nowadays. I feel like hopefully car manufacturers pick up on that, and that's a free idea. I don't charge for that one. Anyways, we do also have some nice 18-inch blacked out rims, which I absolutely love. I know that there is a top line of the Volkswagen Tiguan, but this is the configuration I'd go with, even though you might be missing some of the convenience stuff that you may want. For looks wise, this is the one. So with that being said, sides covered, let's take a look at the rear. Let's see how much space we have in the Tiguan. When I open it up, you're greeted by this cinnamon color. That's what Volkswagen is calling it. They're calling it cinnamon, so I'm going to do the same thing. Nothing crazy speaker wise. You got a little speaker in the door here, but it's not really a boring interior because of the color. Honestly, the color in this case saves it. You get it in black, it's going to be a boring interior. But let's hop in here. It's very easy to get in. Ground clearance isn't that bad. I like it. I'm comfortable. This is how I sit when I drive. 5'11", plenty of headroom. And also we got this really nice panoramic sunroof, or they call it a moonroof now. So there you go. Very, very nice. I'm really glad that we had that. Something we were missing in the Infiniti. So there is no climate control here. You have 2 vents though, so the air quality is good. And you're close enough to the front that, yes, I would have taken one if they offered one, but I don't need one. Then you have just one USB-C and a 12-volt charger here. There's no USB-A in this car. You either get with the times or you get out when it comes to Volkswagen. So there you go. We also have a nice little bit of pockets here for the storage and a fold-down cup holder. All very nice. I'm very comfortable back here. I like the way it feels. Let's see how it feels up front. Let's hop up there. Okay, so sitting up front in the Volkswagen Tiguan, my favorite place to spend time. You're immediately greeted by this very nice steering wheel. I've said this before, I really like how Volkswagen designs their steering wheel. You have the R badge on the steering wheel too, which is familiar to the R steering wheel in the Golf R. So I like it. We do unfortunately though still have those haptic feedback touch buttons on the steering wheel, which I don't like to use. It looks cool. That's not the problem. It's just weird. And you have to slide your finger. Sometimes you hit a button without actually wanting. Sometimes I'll turn on my heated steering when I'm just trying to change things in my gauge cluster. So that's a little bit annoying at times. But other than that, we do have a digital gauge cluster, which I love. You can customize a lot of the stuff in there. I've always liked how Volkswagen's done that. I've driven about 2, this would be my 3rd Volkswagen now, and they've all had a lot of customization, so I'm glad they've kept up the theme here for the Tiguan. Very nice. You have ambient lighting in here too, which looks great, and you can change the color. It changes the color. We'll change it on the door trim here, and also in your gauge cluster and in your infotainment screen as well. Speaking of the door, there is no memory seats here, but my driver's seat is power adjustable, so that's nice. I like also this carbon fiber-esque kind of look that it has. It's not really carbon fiber, but looking at a glance, it looks very cool. Moving over now to the center gauge console, we have everything you expect. You got wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. I do like to use the wire USB-C only again. If you have normal USB, you're out of luck here. But it's the same Volkswagen infotainment stuff that we've seen in pretty much all of them so far. Nothing too different, where we have a whole bunch of different things. The thing is something funny, right? I noticed that it has a navigation thing, so okay, I clicked on it to film it. When I click on that navigation screen, it says this vehicle is not equipped with navigation. It kind of sucks that they put the notification. It's basically just like a pop-up to say that I'm poor and I don't have navigation in my Tiguan. It's just, why just have that there? Just remove it. But in this infotainment screen, you can see a lot of information about the car. And not a lot of manufacturers do this, and I like that it's here instead of there. It's a lot more easy to sort through and you're just sitting around. So I do like that. Very nice, very effective. I really don't have a big problem other than there's useless icons that just tell you you're poor. They should remove that for sure. So moving lower, we have a dual zone automatic climate control and some HVAC controls. I know I complained on the R that it was all in the infotainment. It still is somewhat in the infotainment, but you do have some controls here, but they are not physical buttons. They're not even haptic. You just kind of press and hope that you're doing the right thing when it comes to that. So, it's kind of weird, but it's interesting, and I'm glad it's there. We do have heated seats for the passenger and the driver, no ventilation, but again, I'm okay with that, don't really need it. I would have, however, liked to see some heated seats in the back, especially for this price point. Moving on lower, I love the shifters. Volkswagen does not really change that too much. We saw the same thing on the Jetta. It shows the gear here on the shifter, and it's very nice, very practical. There is a lot of missing buttons here, which just doesn't look that great, but it's all right. Then we have a gear selector here, which you have off-road and stuff like that. I'll talk about all that when we do take it for a drive. So nice cup holders, nice little bit of storage, and of course these cinnamon colored seats, which I like as well. But all that out of the way, let's take it where it matters. Let's take this thing for a drive. Okay, so here we are on the road, 2023 Volkswagen Tiguan. Let's talk about how it drives. First of all, I want to start off with the drive modes. I have a winter mode, I also have a off-road mode, and then I have an off-road custom mode. So you can actually choose how the dampening and the drivetrain and everything like that behaves. And then to your basic modes, you have your eco, normal, sport, and again, custom for the normal driving. So again, you can change the drivetrain and a whole bunch of other good stuff like that. So let me go ahead here though, because we are, in the right space for it. Let me go ahead here and pop it into sport mode and then absolutely put my foot to the floor. And it's going, it's there, we got it. Not too bad. It's decent. There's a lot of pickup between I'd say the 0 to 50, 60 kilometers an hour. After that, you kind of get used to the speed and it's not really crazy, but the torque is there. So I like that. It's not a very powerful engine, but Volkswagen always does a good job for compensating. They compensate in ways like with their drivetrain, how the steering feels, how the car handles in sport mode, and the custom modes are very good. It doesn't just stiffen up the steering and you're in eco mode. You can choose the damping. You can literally change how the car behaves and you can change it to your liking, and I'll never not like that. I'm just gonna switch it back to eco mode because this is an SUV. So obviously it's not the most gas guzzling SUV I've ever been in. Sometimes in the city driving, I'm getting about 10 liters per 100 kilometers. Other times when I do a lot of highway driving, it's pretty good. It's like the high 8s, low 9, and that's good for an SUV of this size, especially when you want to bring a whole bunch of people around and have all that space. You need the fuel economy to kind of be there too. Now I'm going to put it into my custom mode, which I have the drivetrain in normal, and I have the transmission in a bit of a sport mode, and I'll just kind of throw it through the fast corner just a little bit, speed up here, use the torque, and it just handles so well. I just love how Volkswagen do their tuning, their suspension. It's always been good. I've never been disappointed by the way a Volkswagen drives. The steering wheel feel has also been really good. The adaptive cruise control is there if you need it. I haven't really needed to use it because I like driving the car more than I need to use it, but it is adaptive, it is there, and it is pretty reliable. Then you also have lane keep assist. It's not lane centering, so it'll just kind of give you a little warning when you're going out, and it'll drag you back in if you are all the way out, which is a nice safety feature to have. Again, very basic, but I like it. So this week I actually haven't been in a lot of traffic, so I've got to experience the short term, I guess, of sitting in these seats. I haven't done any long trips, but the trips that I have done, the seats are very comfortable. They don't hold you too much. There's not a lot of padding, not a lot of bolstering, and you can't change that like how we saw in the R, where you can change how much bolstering you have in areas. You don't really have that here. You have a bit of a back bolster, but that's it. I don't hate it because I usually keep my seats flat as possible just to keep my, my spine a little bit in check as much as I can. But yeah, it's still very, very comfortable, and the look of the seats is gonna get you the cinnamon look. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but that's, like I said, that's what Volkswagen have said that it is, so I'm going to call it that. You can call it tan, you can call it beige, whatever you want, but it is very nice. It's the nicest one available, and I'm glad it is an option even in this price point. So I even had the opportunity to show the car this week to a few people, and the opinions were all very good. There wasn't one person in the group of people that I showed this week that didn't like the car. They all loved the interior, they all loved the seating position and the way the steering wheel feels, and it's just been good reviews all around from people that don't do car reviews at all. Just the general public, we can call them, they liked it. So that's good news too. If you own one, or if you're in the market, you kind of want people to like what you're driving. I know that's a thing. I know that's why some people even look at these videos. So yeah, the consensus is people do like the look of it. And I don't know if it's a GTA thing where you get a car and then you all of a sudden notice all of the other cars, but the Tiguan, I have seen it everywhere this week. It's insane. There's so many people in Quebec that are driving these things, and it makes sense that all-wheel drive is going to be reliable in the winter. The engines are good, the suspension is good, it's a fun car when it needs to be, and it's a useful car when it needs to be as well. So you really are getting the best of both worlds, and I just like Volkswagen for that. At first I didn't know what to expect when I started with my first Volkswagen, but now I know what to expect, and I like it, and I hope they continue. I just hope they remove these ugly haptic buttons here. That's the only thing that I would really say that isn't good. So final thoughts is it is a great all-around SUV. It's a little bit pricey with the 46K range, and I think the R-Line is more than enough. You know, you're not loaded with features like you are in Hyundai, Kia. That's kind of their specialty. I really haven't seen too many manufacturers do that, but it's enough. It is exactly enough for what you would need for it, and it's just a great all-around thing. It's got the sport, it's got the usability, it's got the comfort. I love the way it drives, love the steering wheel. Fuel economy, it's not too bad either. It's an SUV that you could use at any time of the year, and when you live in Quebec or in Canada or anywhere with garbage weather for half of the year, it's important, and you need a vehicle that could be fun in both worlds. In the winter hell and in the summer fun, you need both of those things. And I think the Volkswagen Tiguan is a great choice if you're in the market for an SUV that isn't a 3-row but has a whole bunch of trunk space. So with that being said, I think that's gonna do it. Make sure you subscribe. If you made it this far in the video, you have to subscribe. You can't watch a 15-minute video and then not subscribe. You also have to like and let me know what you think in the comments. I wanna know, are you in the market? Do you hate the Volkswagen Tiguan? Do you love it? Did I miss anything? Is there something that you want to know specifically about the car that I didn't mention? I'll be in the comments. So will Niall. And yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video. So we'll see you in the next week. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.